Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review. And it's not really a movie review, it's more like a subject. Talking about movies that deserve to win the Oscar and got screwed because of the stupid political Hollywood liberal politics. And of course, the biggest one, the most obvious one, is the one that should have won the Oscar for Best Picture in last year's Oscars for Best Picture for 2012, and of course is the movie Zero Dark 30. Now, to me, this is even though it is the other main films of 2012, to me this is the best movie for that year, easy, without a doubt. Of course, the movie that beat Zero Dark 30 out was Argo, directed and starred Ben Affleck. And the reason why Zero Dark 30 didn't win the Oscar was because, well, actually it was led by Martin Sheen and Ed Asner, was going around protesting this movie, and they actually contacted just about every voter for the Academy Awards and telling them not to vote for Zero Dark 30. And the reason for this, what for? I mean, it is based on a true story of how the United States government hunted down Osama bin Laden for the 10 years after 9/11, how they, the process of that. And so it's a true story on that, trying to get the most famous terrorist in human history. Why, how come they didn't win? Well, because it has the first 30 to 40 minutes, of the film, and it had torture scenes in it. Whereas Ed Asner and Martin Sheen are two of the biggest liberal idiots, in Hollywood. So because of that, based on that, they felt that the movie should not win the Oscar for Best Picture because of the torture scenes, which is just, one of the main reasons that Hollywood gets their political view into these Oscar-winning films, so they get, a liberal weenie like Ben Affleck, who directed the movie in Argo, and then had made Jimmy Carter, who was perhaps the worst president we had since Franklin Roosevelt, a hero in Argo. So that's why they made him, because they made a liberal president a hero, which is not the case. Because Jimmy Carter didn't lift a single finger to help the hostages, the American hostages in Iran. Didn't lift a finger. It was all pretty much the Canadians' show when that is concerned. Well, Zero Dark 30, like I said, is, for the manhunt for Osama bin Laden. And I think it was, I did not see this movie when it was playing in the theaters when it came out on DVD almost a year ago. Now, since we're almost in March. As I filmed this for about the first week in February, so it's almost March. That's why I got it, so I want to see what the sneak is for this movie. And as soon as I saw it deserved the Oscar for the Best Picture, without a doubt. And then when I heard Vargo and stuff with that, he said, "No, we're making Jimmy Carter a hero, period, is wrong." And they changed the facts to help to win the Oscar. And when Zero Dark 30 was directed by Kathryn Bigelow, who won the Oscar 2 or 3 years earlier. Actually beat out her ex-husband Jim Cameron for Best Picture because his movie Avatar was nominated along with The Hurt Locker, and The Hurt Locker being out. So there's a follow-up to that. And of course, the other stick with Zero Dark 30 was that Kathryn Bigelow somehow got classified documents and details of the raid on Bin Laden's compound in Afghanistan. Not Afghanistan, forget the country it was. Pakistan. And Pakistan was supposed to be an ally in our hunt for Bin Laden. And meanwhile, they were housing him in that country, and they knew about it. So that was referenced to in the film, but wasn't really the forefront of the film. Just the hunt for him. And of course, Jessica Chastain, who plays, of course, the title character, and she's in practically every scene, and she is so beautiful to look at for the whole film. And of course, I've never seen her act before, and to see her in this film, like I said, that's just about every scene. I mean, she was great through the entire film, and she deserved, over Jennifer Lawrence, she deserved the Academy Award for Best Actress. And she got stiffed because she was in this movie. I'm not knocking Jennifer Lawrence at all, it's just the fact that I feel that she should have gotten the Oscar for Best Picture, and she was great. And the film was great, and Zero Dark 3 was great. So anybody who said that this was not deserve the Academy Award for Best Picture, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And there's a liberal idiot who says that this movie does not deserve to be even nominated for anything because of the torture scenes. There's a big deal. I've seen movies that had worse than this that won the Academy Award for Best Picture. Most notably Platoon. We're getting off topic. Well, the other movie that I feel like got stiffed, for Best Picture is of course E.T. In 1980, I mean, this was the Zero Dark 3 did when it was the biggest screw job in over 20 years. The other one, of course, is being E.T. over 30 years. It's going to be now over 30 years since E.T. came out. Of course, E.T. lost to Gandhi in Best Picture. And of course, Gandhi, of course, was I think it was over like a 3-hour, 45-minute film. It was directed by Richard Attenborough. And of course, at that time, of course, at that particular time, anything that's based on a true story usually gets an Oscar win. So, of course, like last Oscars, he had two movies based on a true story going against each other, and all go in Zero Dark 30. But Zero Dark 30 was the better film. And E.T. was clearly the better film over Gandhi. And Gandhi, you can literally sleep through that film. And that's saying that Ben King, I mean, I saw like an hour, like about an hour and a half of the movie once. And I said, this is the most boring piece of crap I've ever heard. I'm not saying the movie's not accurate. I'm not saying the movie isn't good. I'm just saying that the movie was boring. So, and for a movie like that to beat out E.T., which is what movie do you remember most from 1982? There were maybe two movies that's more memorable to me in 82 than Gandhi, and that's Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, which I previously did a review on, and E.T., which I never really did a full review of it. I mentioned it in my other video, the cutscenes for movies video, but I never did a real full review of E.T. either. But with E.T. and Gone with the Wind, and E.T. and Star Trek 2, before my memorable films, I remember 1982. What movies do you remember in 82? And those Star Trek 2 and E.T. But E.T. never won because it was directed by Spielberg, and at that time when throughout the 70s and the 80s, just about everything that Spielberg directed became a huge blockbuster hit. And of course, for some stupid reason, they never won him an Oscar until we did Schindler's List. And they kept screwing one movie after the other. And he directed, throughout the 80s, some of the greatest movies of all time. From the 70s to the 80s, the greatest movies of all time. From Jaws to Close Encounters to Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., but he also said The Color Purple. He also directed. I think he also did Poltergeist as well. He also was producer of Goonies and Back to the Future. So to say that he was not directed or at least produced some of the greatest movies throughout the 1980s, and he didn't get any real recognition out of it until, of course, he did Schindler's List. So that was a school job right there. But there was other movies that I felt that no way in hell did they deserve the Academy Award. And I know that I got a lot of flack for it on the Cinephiles Facebook page when I said that I think Platoon was like the worst, in my opinion, the worst movie that ever won Best Picture. I don't remember what movies were nominated that year, but I know that Platoon won. I went to see Platoon while I was playing during its theatrical release. I thought this was the biggest piece of crap I've ever seen in my life. And because it was one bouncing after the other, constant cursing in the film. And if you have constant cursing like you had in Platoon, it turns me off. Now I don't mind if I hear cursing once in a while, but to constantly every other word is a curse word, it turns me off. And of course the movie wasn't as good. I don't think Platoon was as good as everybody thinks it is. I'm sorry, I think it stinks. But there was other movies that I've seen that I felt there was oh, I can't believe this movie won type thing. One of them was, of course, when Ordinary People beat out Raging Bull for Best Picture for 1980. And people said, oh, how can this movie be? It's about suicide. Well, Ordinary People, which is a movie I actually saw, was about with Timothy Hunter, who won for Best Supporting Actor. And of course, the movie was directed by Hollywood big shot in Robert Redford. And of course, Martin Scorsese was also getting screwed for a long time until we finally won for, I think, for The Departed. And I was making movies for like over 30 years, and he finally won one for The Departed, which he got screwed far longer than Spielberg did. And of course, Ordinary People, I thought was a good movie. Not a great film, but I thought it was good enough to sit through and watch. And of course, it's about a family who coping the death of their son. The parents were, of course, played by Donald Sutherland and Mary Tyler Moore. And the son was played by Timothy Hunter, who I mentioned earlier, won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. The was a psychiatrist who was played by Judd Hirsch, who was still, I think, doing Taxi at the time. And of course, I thought it was a good film. Raging Bull, I never really seen the full movie Raging Bull. But when people say, well, Raging Bull got screwed, I can accept an argument. And then I get all bent out of shape that Raging Bull lost. But I felt it was, I thought it was kind of like a screw job. A borderline screw job, because I saw Ordinary People. So I kind of like that film. And of course, there was plenty of other actresses that got screwed over. Most notably, when Kate Winslet didn't win for Best Actress for Titanic, and Helen Hunt beat her out. And of course, when I saw the Academy Awards for, I think it was the 70th or 75th anniversary of the Academy Awards, when Titanic was nominated for 14 awards and won 11 out of the 14. One of the 3 that Titanic didn't win was Kate Winslet. And I kind of figured out that she was not going to win, because Gloria Stewart was also nominated for Supporting Actress for playing Old Rose. That's how a character was named Old Rose. You have Young Rose, was Kate Winslet. And they had the Supporting Actress Awards first. And as soon as I saw that Gloria Stewart did not win, I kind of figured that Kate Winslet was not going to win. Because if she's not going to win, if Gloria Stewart was not going to win, Kate Winslet was not going to win. And pretty much because Gloria Stewart pretty much played a part of a narrator in Titanic. So she didn't win, of course, Kate Winslet didn't win. Of course, the big controversy without nomination was the fact that Helen Hunt was the only American-born actress nominated in that category. That's why people say, "Oh, she only won because she's the only American nominated." Well, you can see the same thing that happened a couple years earlier when Marisa Tomei won for My Cousin Vinny. And she was also the only American-born actress that was nominated in that category. When she won for My Cousin Vinny, which was like one of the biggest upsets in the Academy Awards history, that she won. I'm not saying she wasn't good in the part; it was very good. But to say that she didn't because she was only American nominated, I think Helen Hunt was. So there was a stink with those two Oscar wins. So that's my kind of like little review of. I know I really was planning to do a full review of Zero Dark 30, but we knew how the movie turns out. They killed Milan, and I thought that what they did with the maid on a compound, I thought it was the best sequence in the whole. Actually, the whole movie was a build-up to that maid, and I thought it was. Like I said, from beginning to end, it held my interest. Despite the fact that I had the torture scenes that held my interest, and I thought this was one of the biggest screw jobs in Hollywood, or liberal Hollywood, went out of this way to not have this film win. And that's why I feel that Republicans should have their own movie awards, so that movies like Zero Dark 30 won't get screwed again. And I feel that the movie should have won for Best Oscar. And of course, like 10 or 20 years from now, people will remember who won the Oscar, and people will say, "Oh, Zero Dark 30 won," and they say, "No, they lost." People will be outraged, and I think they should get like an extra Oscar, Best Picture Oscar, just for them, because I feel that's how good this movie is, just like E.T. was. So that's my show of biggest screw jobs in Oscar history. Please comment on it. Feel free to comment and like the video. Please share it on your Facebook pages, and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.